Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you haven't done so, I recommend you to please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more information about Canadian immigration. In this channel, we discuss many ways of becoming the Canadian permanent residents as well as other immigration related information. So without further ado, let's jump into our today's topic, which is going to be the first ever ticket in Canada that I received. And the reason why I'm feeling excited about it because I'm so excited to share with you the whole story and how that I got the ticket. But inside I'm feeling sad because now I have to pay this $200 worth of ticket for no reason. So a little bit background of the story is that it was a fine Friday morning and I prepared myself well dressed for happy bright Friday. It was a sunny day. I left home early in lieu that I thought I will be coming back early because Friday is the day usually when I try to get all errands done, all the house chores that needs to be done, for instance grocery, if I need to put gas in the car and whatnot. So usually I try to go early on Friday so that I can come back early to do all these things. But in this Friday I was very unlucky. Usually there are not a lot of police officers sitting over there checking the speed of the vehicles. But when I left my home from east side of St. John and I was going from the Rothsay Avenue, that day, like I said, it was my lucky day, lucky or unlucky day. The cop was standing over there measuring all the speed of the vehicle they were passing by the Rothsay Avenue. The reason why they stand on the Rothsay Avenue is because this is a very high traffic area, so they really want to make sure that everybody is abiding by the traffic rules and regulations. Unfortunately that day, since I decided to go early to the job, so I thought maybe I should speed up a little bit. I'm not a habitual speedy driver, very cautious, always try to abide by the laws. But that day somehow, since I have to reach the job early, I thought maybe there is no one around. It was early in the morning, the roads were empty, so I thought maybe let's speed up a little bit. As soon as I started my driving, it's not that far from our house. The Rothsay Avenue is very nearby. I hit the gas up a little bit and unfortunately the cop was standing there. They saw me coming very fast. Probably they checked my speed as well and I was going well above the speed limit. No, by no means I'm encouraging you to do this. So please do not try to speed. Always try to abide the traffic law because this is very important. And this is a lesson I'm trying to give here, that in Canada, cops do not want you to play with rules and regulation of traffic. You have to abide them. I mean, there is no compromise on safety in Canada. So you always need to make sure that you are driving by the speed limit. You are going with the flow of the traffic. You are not under speed limit or over speed limit. They want you to be in the middle. Anyway, long story short, when I was passing this cop, he gave me a signal by pointing his finger towards my car and saying, hey, you need to pull over. Usually what happens is when somebody is speeding, the cop will come behind you, follow you and turn on the lights just to give you a signal that now this is the time for you to pull over. But in this case, since he was standing over there with the speed measuring equipment, he just pointed me that, hey, you need to stop and pull over. So anyway, I pulled the car over away from the road. He spent a couple of minutes staring at my license plate and talking on the radio. Probably he was getting some kind of information regarding my license plate. They always make sure that nobody is driving the cars unregistered or illegal of some sort. So they always check in the database that your car is legit. So probably this is exactly what he was doing. And also with the license plate, they also have access to your driving abstract as well. For instance, if you have more tickets on your record, they are more likely to give you another ticket. But this is just a standard procedure they have to go through. They always follow it. After checking my license plate, he came by the window, pressed the button, I put the window down. This was very new for me. The first thing he asked, would you like the service in French or English? And that is where it clicked my mind, since New Brunswick is a bilingual province. So most of the government officials are bilingual. They can speak to you in French or English, whatever you prefer. So in my case, I don't know French and I only know English. So I told him that I would like to have service in English, please. And then he asked, do you know what speed limit you were going? I said, I have no idea. And then he said, do you know what the speed limit is on Rothse Avenue? I said, yeah, I just gave a wild guess. I said, it must be 50. So I said 50. And he said, yeah, 50 exactly. You know how much you were going again? And I said, no, officer, I do not know how much I was going. Then he showed me on a little piece of equipment in 84. Speed that I was driving the car at that time was 84. So it was 34 over the speed limit. That's another thing about the empty roads. When the roads are empty, you don't pay attention to speedometer, which is a big mistake. I would never recommend that. So anyhow, I was a little bit embarrassed at that time. He then asked me for my driver's license and registration, which I gave him. He took them and he went to his car. We stayed there for a good 15 minutes. So those 15 minutes that I was trying to save by speeding the car, I end up spending those 15 minutes waiting in the car for this cop to give me the ticket, basically, which is again very unlucky, very unfortunate. I do not recommend it. Then after 15 minutes, he came up with some paperwork, and he very nicely and very politely, he explained to me that you were going above the speed limit, but I'm not going to give you the ticket for 34 over the speed limit. I'm going to give you the ticket for 25 or less going over the speed limit. Which resulted in a little bit less money that I need to pay out of my pocket. And also I would like to mention here one more thing. Whenever you are getting the ticket, you also are getting the speeding points as well. So if you are speeding 25 or less over the speed limit, you are supposed to get 5 points on your driving abstract. So if these points accumulated and you exceeded 12 or more points, the driver license can be suspended or cancelled. This is why it is very important that you do not get 12 points or more. So now unfortunately I have those 5 points on my driving record. So if I get 7 more points, then my driving license can be suspended. So I need to be more careful now, which I am. I gotta tell you again, I am a very much careful driver. I always try not to speed. But for some reason this Friday it was written in my luck. It was my fate. I had to get that ticket and I got it. And I learned my lesson. I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna speed anymore. After this ticket, now whenever I'm going with Jihen, she always tell me you are even going more slower than the speed limit. So which is crazy. I'm just trying to be careful. There are 2 options I can do. One option is I can make the voluntarily payment of $200 and have those 5 points on my abstract and be careful. Those 5 points, if I did not get any ticket in 3-year period, those 5 points are gonna go away from my record. But if within 3 years I get more points, again, like I said, if I get 7 or more points, my driving privilege can be revoked. The second option for me right now is that I can go to the municipal court here and I can appear in front of judge and tell them and explain to them why I was speeding that day. If judge decide that I have a reasonable explanation, they might dismiss this ticket or they reduce the amount that I need to pay. Or if they did not like my explanation, they will ask me to pay the full amount and keep those 5 points on my record. Now with these 2 options, I haven't myself decided yet whether I want to appear in front of judge or should I go and make the voluntarily payment. Make sure to comment it down below. If you are living in Canada, please let us know what should be the best course of action in this situation. Should I go ahead and make the voluntarily payment or should I go and appear in front of judge? For all the new people who wants to come here, I would definitely recommend not to speed. Make sure you again abide the traffic laws. These are there for your protection. Another takeaway from this story I want to tell you guys that cops are very polite here. They want you to be safe. The officer was very nice, he was very professional. Even after seeing my paperwork and giving me the ticket, he said make sure you drive safe for your sake and for the other people as well. And that really hits my heart. And I decided that yeah, it was a big blunder that I did. I should have never speed, and I'm never going to do it again. I really love the way that officer handles this situation. And this was not just for me. Anyone who would have been pulled over, cop would have treated him same way. This is what I love about Canada. The cops or the officers here are very respectful. They want you to be safe. They want you to abide by the law. They are there to do their job, and they are doing their job absolutely amazingly. I also want to tell the newcomers who are wanting to come to Canada or already in Canada, in order to pass the driving exam, you have to read the booklet. This whole booklet is designed by the province according to the roads, how they are structured. Make sure that you are familiar with the road signage, road laws. So do not think like whatever is applicable in your home country will be applicable here in Canada, because every country is different, right? One thing I want to mention here, the difference between traffic rules of Canada and United States. They are very much similar. Since I drove in both countries, I can definitely say with no hesitation that most of the signages are same, the regulations are same. So if you are used to drive in the States and you are coming to Canada, or you are used to drive in Canada and coming to States, you will not have any problem driving the car. But if you are coming from any countries, for example, I came from Pakistan, so in the beginning it was a little bit difficult for me to get adjusted with the other side of the road, because in Pakistan we have a right-hand drive, here we have left-hand drive. But with the passage of time, it was pretty easy and pretty quick for me to get integrated with the new rules and regulations of the traffic. So this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to comment down below what do you think of this whole story, and what do you think of this whole process of giving the ticket if somebody is speeding, and let us know if you have any questions regarding that as well. And again, please, if you haven't done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And if you get any value from this video, please hit that like button. Thank you very much, and see you next.